Sixth grade friends, we have here two examples of how to solve multiplication with decimals, and we have 23 hundredths times 1.5, and we have two methods with the uh, students Elena and Noah. I do apologize to our Elena that this is what the textbook uses. So we know it's not you, unless you want it to be you. But anyway, so this Elena multiplied 23 hundredths times 100 to get 23. And I was thinking, where did she get that 21 hundredths? And I realized that, or that the 100, so 23, here she has 23, it's way huge. Whatever. So we have 23 hundredths, which can be written 23 100ths. And what I remember from my multiplication is that if I multiply this times 100 over 1, I can cancel out my hundreds and I get 23. And so that's where Alina got that 23 from. And then she does the same thing with 1.5 because it was 1 5/10. And she multiplied her fraction by 10. And she got a 5, which plus the 10 is 15. So then at the end, she multiplies because she likes her whole numbers. But then she divides it by 3 by 1,000. And I was again wondering where that 1,000 came from. And I realized it came from the 100 and the 10. And that because she had multiplied by 100 and by 10, she now had to divide by those numbers. And she could have divided by them one at a time, but instead she multiplied them to get 1,000. So in other words, she got her answer of 345. And we could divide that by 10, which was that 10 there that she had multiplied by. And she's going to get 34.5. Then we still have that 100. So 34.5. Now she has to divide that by 100. And she gets 345 thousandths. So that's where all of those numbers came in Elena's method, and it works. Noah, on the other hand, he just decided to make his fractions. So he turned 23 hundredths into 23 hundredths, 1.5 into 15 tenths. He multiplied the whole thing, and he got the same thing as Elena. And he turned it back into, he's got his decimal, and he just turned it back into a fraction. Now, these are two different methods that you could try. I'm wondering which one makes the most sense to you. Which would you be more likely to use? And I have to tell you, honestly, I find Noah's. For me, I find this one easier to understand. But you actually might say, Matone, this is really, for me, makes it much simpler. So I'm just curious, and I want you to talk to your teachers and to each other about which one you find the most useful. And also, I'm going to challenge you with a problem to solve on the next slide.